Hi, this is Alfredo Alvarez. This is my Milestone 1 project for the game architecture class. We're doing Space Invaders. So basically, I pretty much followed the design that we were doing in class. I have a few changes in my architecture, and I'm going to explain them a little bit. Right now, you can see the collision boxes because I have them on display, so it shows it's actually colliding going down. With that said, right now my collisions are not the way we talked on the last class. They're just the objects that we needed to be colliding, basically the grid and the two boundaries, simply crashing, being checked in an if else in the update loop. That's going to be improved later before the final milestone. Everything else is done. I decided to, so the first thing to note is that when I started on day one that we were loading things, I did the first page, the loading page from the video. It's supposed to be part 4, but I changed part 1 because that's where I'm starting my game basically. So this is what we're seeing. If you press spacebar, then we'll move to the next scene. It's basically a scene pattern. It has different scenes that have the update, load content, and the same method that you have on the game class, but you can switch them up. So my game class basically allows the switching up, and the scene can notify the game when to switch from one to another. So if you press space, and you actually have the game selected, if you press space, we actually move. So what we see here, the yellow ones are my boundaries. They're really small. They're actually they're 6 width. And then you have my enemy grid, which is the green line. Right now, the enemy grid is not being calculated dynamically. It's simply set for the size of the objects that are in there. I don't know why this popped in here. Let me take it out. But basically, you can see the animations working out. The way my animation loop works is my enemy grid is actually the one invoking the animations. And whenever he has a collision with either the left boundary or the right boundary, he fires an extra animation command. And that animation command, what he does is basically just do the step down. That's why you see it when he collides on the corner, he does a step down. The other thing that happens is the enemy grid has the speed of which is going down. And every time it bounces on the corner, it gets multiplied by 1.5. So the starting speed is about 10, and it goes faster and faster until they go out of the screen. I haven't put in top boundaries or bottom boundaries, but yeah, so you can see it like just going really fast at the end, and it goes away. But yeah, here we have the animation and everything going down. That's pretty much the video of showing how it works. In terms of the class, I'm following the other differences I was mentioning was I decided to use the singleton as the instance version of singleton instead of the private and static methods. So basically what I'm doing is inheriting my class and then putting a static instance into it. That way I find it easier just to follow all the inheritance this way. And the other thing is like I decided to go in the discrete way. So I have separate factories and separate managers. Right now some of my managers are called tables, and these are the ones that have the find method. If they don't have the find method, they are not called tables. They are called something else, either manager like the time event manager and gain object manager, or like for example the sprite flyway list. So if they're called list, basically means that they don't implement a singleton. Anyway, this is what I have for now, and yeah, I can turn on my collisions, but it's actually tied to my P key on the keyboard.